Hello everyone, if you have your own paranormal experiences you'd like to share, please send them to our channel. Remember, we're not looking for fiction, but real accounts of unexplained events. Stay safe out there, and remember, not all ghosts are scary. Some just need help finding their way home. I've been bow hunting for 15 years, and I thought I'd seen everything the woods could throw at me. Wrong doesn't even begin to describe how I feel about that assumption now. 3 weeks ago, I set up my newest trail camera about 2 miles deep in the Blackwood Forest Preserve. It's a top-of-the-line model with cellular connectivity, sends photos straight to my phone when motion is detected. Perfect for scouting deer patterns without trudging through the underbrush every few days. The camera worked flawlessly for the first week. I'd get the usual parade of wildlife photos, raccoons, possums, a few does with their fawns. Nothing unusual. Then, last Tuesday night, everything changed. I was dead asleep when my phone buzzed at 3:17 a.m. Trail cam notification. Figured it was probably another raccoon family having their nightly feast on acorns. I almost ignored it, but insomnia had been hitting me hard lately, so I grabbed my phone to take a look. The photo loaded, and my blood turned to ice water. It was me, sleeping in my bed. But the angle was all wrong. The camera was positioned above me, maybe 8 feet up, looking down at my sleeping form. The timestamp read 3:16 a.m., just 1 minute earlier. I sat bolt upright, heart hammering against my ribs. This had to be some kind of glitch, right? Maybe the cell tower had mixed up signals, sent me someone else's photo by mistake. But as I stared at the image, I could make out every detail of my bedroom, my grandfather's antique dresser, the stack of hunting magazines on my nightstand, even the tear in my blackout curtains that let in a sliver of moonlight. That's when I noticed something that made my skin crawl. In the corner of the photo, barely visible in the infrared glow, was the outline of my actual trail camera. Still in my bedroom. Mounted somehow to my ceiling. But that was impossible. My trail camera was 2 miles away, strapped to an oak tree in Blackwood Forest. I fumbled for my bedside lamp, flooding the room with yellow light. I looked up at the ceiling directly above my bed. Nothing there. Just smooth white drywall and the ceiling fan I never used. My phone buzzed again. Another photo. This one showed me sitting up in bed, looking directly at my phone screen. The image was crystal clear. I could see the confusion and terror on my own face as I stared at the first photo. But what made my hands shake wasn't seeing myself. It was the timestamp, 3:19 a.m. And in the metadata, clear as day, was the GPS location. My exact home address. I jumped out of bed and turned on every light in the house, searching frantically for any sign of a camera. I checked every room, every corner, every possible hiding spot. Nothing. But my phone kept buzzing with new photos, each one documenting my increasingly frantic search from that same impossible overhead angle. Photo after photo showed me tearing through my house, checking behind picture frames, looking inside air vents, even pulling books off shelves. Each image was timestamped in real time, and each one came from that same 8-foot-high vantage point, following me from room to room. By dawn, I had 37 photos of myself searching my own house for a camera that couldn't exist. Exhausted and shaking, I finally called my brother Jake. He's a tech guy, always knows how to fix computer problems. Maybe he could explain this nightmare. Trail cameras can glitch, he said after I explained everything. Sometimes they'll store old photos and send them at random times. Or maybe someone's hacking your camera, superimposing images. But Jake's rational explanations fell apart when I showed him the photos. He went quiet for a long time, scrolling through image after image of me in my own house. "These aren't manipulated," he finally whispered. "And look at the EXIF data, it's all legitimate. Same camera serial number as your trail cam, same cellular carrier. David, these photos are really coming from your camera." "Then where the hell is it?" Jake didn't have an answer. I drove out to Blackwood Forest that afternoon, hoping to find my trail camera stolen or relocated. But it was exactly where I'd left it. Still strapped to the oak tree, memory card full of normal forest photos. The last timestamp was from the previous evening, a doe drinking from a nearby stream. But my phone had 43 photos from inside my house, all taken after that final forest image. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in my living room chair with a baseball bat across my lap, staring at my phone. At 3:17 a.m., exactly 24 hours after the first photo, my phone buzzed. The image showed me sitting in my chair, gripping the baseball bat, eyes wide with terror. But this photo was different. In the background, barely visible in the corner, was a shadow that hadn't been there before. Human-shaped, but wrong somehow. Too tall, limbs bent at unnatural angles. I spun around, but my living room was empty. The next photo came 30 seconds later. Same angle, but now the shadow was closer. Much closer. I ran to my truck and drove to Jake's house, spending the night on his couch. But even there, the photos continued. The camera somehow followed me, documenting my restless night from Jake's guest bedroom ceiling. Jake saw the photos too. We both watched in horror as image after image arrived, showing me tossing and turning while that shadow figure grew progressively larger and more defined in each frame. By the fifth night, I could make out details in the shadow: long, skeletal fingers, a face that was almost human but stretched and distorted like a reflection in a funhouse mirror. It stood in different corners of whatever room I occupied, always watching, always getting closer. I stopped going home. Started sleeping in my truck at gas stations, truck stops, anywhere with bright lights and other people. But the photos never stopped. No matter where I went, that impossible camera found me, and that thing in the shadows followed. Last night, I got a photo that nearly made me lose my mind completely. It was the usual overhead shot, showing me curled up in my truck's passenger seat in a Walmart parking lot. But the shadow wasn't in the corner this time. It was right next to me, leaning over my sleeping form. I could see its face clearly now, hollow eye sockets that seemed to go on forever, a mouth stretched into an impossible grin filled with too many teeth. But here's the part that's been eating at me since I saw that photo. In the image, my eyes are open. I'm looking directly up at this thing, and I'm smiling the same horrible smile. I don't remember waking up last night. I don't remember seeing anything. But in that photo, it's clear that I did. I'm writing this from a motel room 3 states away. I paid cash, used a fake name, turned off my phone's GPS. I thought maybe distance would break whatever connection exists between me and that camera. My phone just buzzed. New photo, timestamped 2 minutes ago. The angle is from above my motel room bed. I'm sitting right where I am now, typing on my laptop. But I'm not alone in the photo. The thing is standing right behind me. And this time, I can feel its breath on my neck. The most terrifying part? I just realized something about all these photos. I've been assuming the camera is mounted 8 feet up, looking down at me. But what if I've had it backwards this whole time? What if the camera is in its normal position, and I'm the one who's 8 feet up? What if I've been looking down at something else entirely? My phone just buzzed again. I'm afraid to look, but I can't help myself. The photo shows this motel room from above, just like all the others. But now I can see what the camera has been documenting all along. There are 2 of me in the bed. One is sitting up, typing frantically on a laptop. The other is lying flat, eyes closed, completely still. And I honestly don't know which one I am.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like and subscribe button, and then share it with your friends. Your support helps us grow and create even more awesome content. We appreciate you being part of the journey.